Hi, welcome to our presentation on Ease Invest. Ease Invest is venturing into new territory, attempting to run a business on cross-communal, cross-cultural and cross-time zone terms. There are a multitude of challenges that come from working in this context. Many of them we'll discuss through this report. However, an initial positive is the relative ease for which these particular contexts can coexist by implementing sound structure and HR practices. India is the next global economic powerhouse due to a strengthening economy and a more robust political standing on the world stage. While Bangalore has also been dubbed the Silicon Valley of Asia and an outsourcing hotspot, making it the right choice for Ease Invest back-end production. Shanghai, the commercial business hub for mainland China, is going through an economic transition also. As a business hub, it lags behind other major financial centres like New York and London. However, it is a global innovation and business centre that influences the whole of Asia. Overall, there are relatively cheap costs in travelling between the two countries. Both Shanghai and Bangalore offer far cheaper labour and material costs, mitigating the expenses incurred in New York and Australia. From an employee perspective, the challenges with the company's transition to a global entity have the potential to be costly and detrimental. It's vital that Ease Invest can acknowledge the cultural differences that may impact on the operation in each country. Odrzejek, Zatur and Peljan call this cultural competency, and they explain that corporations must understand their employees and must respect and support and encourage different cultural practices and behaviours. The challenge for management is that they then need to ensure that the values of the organisation are upheld across each office, and that there is a strong ideal that ensures that each team is working towards a common goal. Relationships are the key to securing the preservation of the culture within the corporation. Concessions within the budget should be made to facilitate those connections. Great companies such as Flight Centre are known for their international offices coming together each year to have fun, foster a positive culture in the organisation, and to ensure that the values of the culture have some level of consistency across the world, inevitably laying the foundation for future success. Management must play a fundamental role ensuring that communication and teamwork become the cornerstones of the company. Mayer explains that every single employee must be given a voice. They don't necessarily need to be vocal, but must feel as though they have the opportunity to express themselves and to give input in how the business is run, resulting in increased employee engagement and a stronger sense of ownership, and increased motivation, providing a better understanding of their place in the global business. Communication will be different for each context. However, if management can facilitate a platform for communication and engagement that is sensitive to differences, then relationships throughout the company will be improved and there will be a stronger sense of unity among staff. This slide shows some specific elements of communication that can be incorporated to ensure that the differences can be encouraged while ensuring that everyone is supported to speak out. Since the early 1980s, vision statements have formed a critical component of the business leadership strategy. The vision statement should reflect the wider company goals and aspirations for the company. Nana stated, "Vision is a realistic, credible, attractive future, an articulation towards which you should aim, that in important ways are better, more successful, and more desirable than the present." Nanas's view highlighted the need for the vision statement to act as the North Star, ensuring that companies navigate to a prosperous future. The current vision statement only seems to address the short-term goals of the company founders. As it states, to increase growth in order to launch an IPO or be acquired after 3 years, thereby indicating that financial gain is the motivational driver. Now, while IPOs are often used to increase capital, acquisition provides a way out for the owners and an uncertain future for the company. Large organisations such as GE, Citibank, Dow Chemical and Shell have used the matrix structure for many years to better map out their organisations, allowing company heads, groups and teams to make sound business decisions promptly. The structures are not always a success and need to be carefully mapped out and uniquely developed for particular applications in the organisation. To ensure EasyInvest succeeds in the global workplace, HR recommends that proposed matrix structure be adopted as soon as possible to allow divisional heads to work with each other in an open problem-solving environment. It's important to get the structure right so that everyone understands who's responsible for what and to whom. It's the unofficial relationships which make the company great and should be encouraged. People work with each other, not for each other, even though lines say that. Organisations are made up of coalitions. Being able to identify coalitions forming is essential to understanding organisational politics. In this case, a few coalition or subcultural groups are likely to form as the organisation transitions to a global entity. For example, new recruitment in Shanghai could be a Chinese coalition, and the same could be said for India. The HR department should invest time and effort in training new staff to make sure they are well informed and understand company policy. At the same time, for officers in India and China, as these departments are functional departments, accuracy and efficiency are a priority for EasyInvest. The board, therefore, should apply bureaucracy rule, that is, establish a set of rules and procedures based on written word to make sure these departments act in the best interests of the company. It's important for managers to develop a positive work relationship among different departments and be supportive, fostering a cohesive environment instead of autocratic top-down management structures. However, similar to many great innovation companies like Google and Apple, the innovation department in Melbourne needs to stay creative and would benefit from the direct democracy approach. HR and managers should consider the direct approach, therefore allowing technologists the opportunity to have a say and participate in decision making. HR is pleased to provide a number of recommendations that we feel is vital to the success of the globalisation of EasyInvest. Communication will be a vital link that drives the success of the business. Face-to-face is proven to be a rich media channel, but won't always be practical for the teams. We would recommend a period of secondment so that staff can interact with colleagues. For instance, a back-end India team member could work with R&D in Melbourne on a particular project, and not only just getting involved in a team building exercise, but engaging in a real challenge and growing a greater team. Building on our first recommendation, we suggest opening up the lines of communication. Skyping, video conferencing, and email are all great ways to communicate and all carry our endorsement. The company would also benefit from a social media channel. Tech giants such as Nokia have been using internal social media since 2008. A blog post, for instance, would allow employees to communicate through cross-channels, learning about each other within the organisation, while management can tap down and monitor employee issues. Our third recommendation would be that the CEO change the vision statement to align more with the company's tech goals and allowing greater buy-in from employees across all the departments. This would avoid employee stress issues related to the uncertainty around the company's future. Organisational change can be a stressful time for employees and is known to lower self-esteem, reducing productivity and increasing management costs, something that should be avoided at all costs. Our fourth recommendation, map out the business structure and the strategy for the transition so that everyone is clear on the lines of communication and what their part in the change will be. Let's put the people first and continually communicate the plan. Our fifth and final recommendation would be to look at acquisition, to look at acquiring small businesses already operating in India and China. With an end goal of being operational within 12 months, we view acquisition as a real option and a way to circumvent the team development phases of forming, storming, norming and performing. Such a team would already have a track record, be well connected and offer high levels of team cohesion, characteristics that could take years to form in the startup phase. Acquisition could short-circuit such a process. The HR budget for the coming year should consider the following: increase in international travel, increased HR staff members to match the business expansion, professional services to assist with the implementation of the company policy, training allowances for new and existing staff, and upgrades to the HR management system. It's been our pleasure to present to the Board today, and we look forward to the challenge of implementing the Board's globalisation strategy. Thank you very much.